Alrighty there, folks, and welcome into today's video. I can't afford any fancy lighting today. I can't afford Teslas behind me because I spent all my money on stocks nonetheless, and several different stocks, okay? Not just this one you're seeing in front of your face right now. Yeah, I bought a bunch of different stocks today, and I'm going to go through essentially exactly what I've been buying and all those sorts of things. So I hope you guys enjoy this as always, and yeah, let's get into this, guys. So first off, yeah, the chef, the dippity dip, okay? Yeah, I bought a lot of chef in the last 48 hours, including $18,700, $8,000, $16,000, $24,000, $9,100, and that's not even it, okay? Just there alone, that's, I don't know, maybe roughly 74,000, something crazy like that. It's a rather large amount nonetheless in regards to the chef. Obviously, you know, stock. Well, we'll get into that in just a moment. But I also bought another. Well, this order actually got canceled. So this I put in yesterday for $15.50. This was the only order that didn't go through. Essentially, the 1550s. Yeah, it didn't quite get that low. It was a crazy day of trading yesterday in the chef. It went all the way down to the 15s. It didn't get down to 1550, but it got into the 15s, and just a crazy day. And then it only finished down 1% by the end of the day. Like, needless to say, the stock has a lot of buying pressure that comes in, you know, in the 15-16 range. Let's just put it that way. It's just, you know, it shoots down to 15 and then just gets bought up. And by folks like myself that are long-term investors of the stock, we just buy it up left and right, okay? And then today I also put in this order, and this got filled at $16.12 for 1,953 shares of the chef there. So, by the way, a huge milestone for the public account. Public account just hit $100,000 in gains taken, over $100,000 in gains taken from that account this year. So not like paper profits, but literally six figures of gains in just a public account alone this year. So, which is a huge milestone. You know, we've come a long way as far as that particular account goes. So when it comes to the chef here, you know, it's caught up in, we're going to get into the other stocks I was buying here today as well, but I don't want to speak on the chef for just a moment here, right? So, as somebody that's a long-term investor in this company, I'm looking out several years for the stock, right? I think everybody short-term is caught up into the whole reschedule of the conference call and the quarterly results, and that's fine. Like, people can get caught up into whatever they want to get caught up into, right? The short sellers definitely want everybody's focus on this, right? The shorts want everybody's focus on this. Oh, remember they rescheduled that conference call, and you're going to be hearing about this for months to go in the future. Remember when they rescheduled that conference call? Remember when they did that? That was shady. You know, that's going to be the talk for a long time in regards to stock, and it's just going to be something us the longs have to deal with for quite a while nonetheless, right? And so that's obviously the shorts. They always want everybody to be caught up. Know what the shorts, the last thing the shorts want to be caught up into, or want investors thinking about, the last thing they want people thinking about, like myself, right, that hold the stock, they don't want us thinking about the long-term future for Tattooed Chef. They don't want us to view this company as a leader in the plant-based category, which is a category where the TAM's going to increase exponentially over the next 10 years. They don't want us to think about the skyrocketing revenues for this company that are likely going to be up 50% plus again this quarter. They don't want us thinking about the fact that, well, I can't spell net income right, but the fact that net income is, in my opinion, is going to be $100 million in 4 years. You slap a 40 PE on that, which I think is like a joke compared to, you know, I think Tattoo Chef's going to have, you know, exponential growth after that. So I think a 40 PE is kind of laughable for the stock in 4 years. But you throw that on, you're at a $4 billion market cap. It's at $1.3 billion today. So yeah, they don't want us focused on that. They want us all focused on the short-term numbers, whether they meet or they miss, right? They want us focused on, you know, the reschedule the conference call. And just at the end of the day, the majority of us that are really like the longs in the stock, we're not going to get caught up in that. We're not going to fall for that trick, okay? The shorts in Tesla stock got a lot of people focused on that, right? And they got so many people shaken out of that stock. And a lot of us we stood strong and we're just like, this is a game-changing company over the next 5, 10 plus years. we're not getting shaken out. And that's exactly how I feel in this situation. The shorts are going to try to, on the message boards, on forums, everywhere, they're going to try to make everybody sell this stock, get caught up in the short-term things, and get everybody to forget about the long-term opportunity in the stock. And just, I've been around this block long enough that I'm not going to get caught up into that trap of like, oh, are they going to miss the numbers? They missed by, $1 million. Sell the stock. They rescheduled the conference call, sell the stock. Okay. The gross margin wasn't quite the number what was expected. Sell the stock. That's what the shorts want everybody to get caught up to. I'm not going to fall into that trap. At the end of the day, this is going to be a huge winner for me over the coming years, in my opinion, and I'm not gonna fall for that trick. And so I will just continue to be a buyer. I am part of that buying support club that's in the 15, 16 range, and I bought above those prices too, and I'm not afraid to buy above 15, 16. It's just at those prices, the risk reward in the stock is just too darn attractive over the next 5+ years. And so I'll continue to be a buyer. This company continues to execute on such a phenomenal level when it comes to the actual underlying numbers compared to pretty much any other company in this space, that I think in a year or two, we're going to call them the leader in the plant-based food space. Not one of the leaders in the plant-based food space. I think we're going to call them the leader because I think they're out executing every other company out there when it comes to actual fundamentals of the company. That's why I put my money where my mouth is, and I will continue to be a buyer of this stock. Okay, so obviously, yeah, that's a stock I bought heavily over the past whatever amount of time it is, 48 hours or so. Okay, so that's a chef. Avant Brands. Look at this one. AVTBF. I haven't bought this one for a little bit, but yeah, I went ahead and bought some shares here today. I bought 11,111 shares. Whenever you buy a stock under $1 a share on Fidelity, it makes you put in a limit price. So I put in my limit price at 28 cents. That's what I was willing to pay up to. I got filled at 25 cents essentially. And yeah, so quite a bit of shares. It's not a big dollar amount at all. This is a very, very, I would call it high risk, high reward stock. I have essentially OTC stock, $50 million market cap, the smallest market cap company I own by a mile. I don't usually get into too many of these stocks, and when I do, I make a much smaller bet, right? You see Tattoo Chef, I'm putting, $70,000, $80,000, $100,000 in that stock in a matter of 48 hours. You don't see me doing that with an Avant Brands. It's a much smaller amount. This is a stock that got caught up into the hype cycle. And let's just be completely honest, the stock's dead. It's completely dead in terms of the hype, right? There's no hype around the stock anymore. There's no excitement around the stock. Like the hype money's long gone in this one. And the only folks that are buying or holding this stock are people like myself that are willing to hold this for several years in the future and are excited about the company's growth that they've been putting up and hoping that this company can become a multi-$100 million market cap, or maybe, dare I say, $1 billion market cap long term, right? So that's all that's left in this one. The short-term trader money that was involved in the stock in the past, it's gone, man. It's so far gone. It's it's like 2009, Drizzy. It's that type of gone, okay? Now, the company, as far as the actual underlying fundamentals, the company has been phenomenal. They reported 2 consecutive record revenue quarters. I mean, yeah, the balance sheet's in a phenomenal position now. They're in a great capital position with the company, especially when you compare the cash and the working capital they have on the balance sheet compared to where the market cap's at. And the fact that this company's putting up record revenues, I mean, I'll put a little money out there. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, I think it's one of those stocks that, yeah, absolutely, it's a risky stock. It's an OTC stock, and those stocks always come with more risk. And it's obviously in a space where there's a lot of things changing around the regulation and whatnot, but everything's pretty much moving in favor of companies like Avant, let's be quite honest, right? But at the end of the day, like, it's so much reward potential. I'm going to put a little money out there. I'm going to, risk what I want to risk out there for it. And if this company goes where I think it's going over the coming years, like, this is going to be a silly percentage gainer. And if it doesn't work out, well, I put a limited amount of capital in, so the pain to me is limited, right? So the reward potential in this one just so far outweighs the risk that I'm willing to take it, okay? And this is one of those stocks also, if they keep on reporting good quarterly numbers and they can get on some bigger exchanges, the long-term money will start to flood into the stock. It will become a bigger and bigger company, right? And at the end of the day, the next thing you know, another short-term trader hype cycle can start around the stock, and the next thing you know, the stock goes up a couple 100% in a matter of a few months. That's what happens with these type of stocks. They get devastated. All the hype goes out of them, and the stock goes down 50% plus in a snap of fingers. And if you think that can happen on the flip side, believe me, it happens really, really dang quickly. So, but at the end of the day, I'm a long-term investor in this company, and I look forward to seeing what they pull off over the coming years. And if they misexecute, it is what it is. Okay, so that's Avant. Next stock up here, I bought a Corsair Gaming, 475 shares of Corsair Gaming. 26.27 on this particular stock. Corsair Gaming is a profit machine. We know this. It's a beast, right? I want to take you guys through some photos here in just a moment, but it's a low PE company. Of these three stocks, it has the least upside of these three stocks, I'll be honest. It also has the least risk of these three stocks, right? Tattoo Chef is a super high growth company, but it obviously comes with its risk. Avant Brands, a super high risk because it's an OTC stock, but also that one's got the craziest reward potential of these three stocks. But Corsair Gaming, low, I would call it very, very low risk in terms of, if I look at the stock price in 3 years, is it higher or lower than today? I would almost guarantee it's going to be higher. Obviously, there's no guarantees, but I would go much closer to that than, downside for the stock, okay? Corsair Gaming, I went to Best Buy recently. Definitely some product outs for Corsair, but it's very few and far between. Needless to say, it's a fun time to go to Best Buy in November because you're going to see there's just TVs everywhere. Like they're prepping up, right? They're prepping up for Black Friday. They're prepping up for obviously the holiday season in general. And there's just products everywhere for all companies, right? Including Corsair. Everything's stocked up. What I'm excited to go back to Best Buy stores. I like to go back to them like basically the week before Christmas or a few days before Christmas. Because what I want to see is these inventories as outs or low inventory, right? Right now, the shelves are packed full of Corsair and all the products, and I want to see products sold through. So I want to be able to go back in December and go to some Best Buy stores in Las Vegas and other places and just see, oh, wow, there's hardly anything left there. So that's what I'm looking for. But yeah, I mean, you're seeing the amount of SKUs Corsair has just in Best Buy now, guys, is epic. I mean, this is a beast, just straight up. Like, I mean, you go around a Best Buy store and my gosh, there are Corsair SKUs everywhere. I mean, it's the SKU expansion Corsair has been on is absolutely extraordinary for their brand, right? I mean, it's just everywhere. You see Corsair products everywhere. And the thing with Corsair is they're innovating so fast, they're going to have probably a lot more SKUs at this time next year than they have right now. It's unbelievable, right? Now, they're the part of Corsair's business. So there's several parts of Corsair's business that gets forgotten. Everybody just thinks about what I just showed you there, right? Which is their unbelievable business. But everybody forgets about Elgato in terms of the investor base. And I think a lot of the investor base doesn't even realize how big Elgato is going to be in the future and how big it already is now. So look at this. Best Buy is starting to give Elgato its entire own displays now, right? This is a huge deal. Best Buy is not just going to have you have a big display in the store unless they really believe that brand is going to be there, not just for now, but for years to go in the future and become a lot bigger. And I mean, the display is beautiful. They got set up. They got the light set up, right? They got the microphone. They got the new face cam camera, which has a lot of positive reviews, the Stream Deck, all these things. And honestly, if you at all are into streaming or care about streaming, Elgato's become the player in that market, okay? And obviously, they're stocked up. I only saw one out at this particular store for Elgato. They're stocked up. That's another one that I think I'm going to be able to go back in December. And, inventory is going to be rather low for this company overall. And I think they're in a strong position for not just this year, but years to go in the future. Streaming is something that's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger over the coming years. And so I look at Elgato as just, this is $1 billion brand in the making, in my opinion, if not a multi-billion-dollar brand. And you look at Corsair, it's a stock that's valued at about a 2. It's usually recently has been valued between $2 and $3 billion, right? The Elgato brand, in my opinion, within the next few years is going to be valued at 2 to 3 billion just by itself. Never mind when you add on Corsair on top of that, and you look at the PE of this company, and you look at the management team. Like, this is a no joke, this holy smoke is management team over there at that company, right? Andy Paul's been leading this thing since like the 90s. Like, it's incredible, right? And so, yeah, nonetheless, this is the least reward potential, but it's absolutely still a big reward potential over the coming years. And I feel like I'm taking a very limited risk in the stock right now. So yeah, I remain extremely bullish and extremely excited around Corsair, and I will continue to be a buyer of this stock, and I'm rather excited. I need to buy some more call options. I just remembered that. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, got a massive Black Friday sale coming for the private stock group. We haven't done one of those literally since last Black Friday. So if you want to take advantage of that and check out, basically enter in your contact info, we'll shoot you the deal as soon as it drops. And much love as always, guys. Have a great day. Peace.